Nearly all companies offer their employees some sort of 401k investment program. And if you're lucky, they'll match a portion of your contributions. But too often, people simply enroll in the 401k without really looking at the best way to maximize that investment plan. As the founder and CEO of Peak Retirement Planning, Joe Schmitz can certainly help. He is here in today's sponsored segment, joining me again. Good to see you, Joe.
Yep, thanks, Robyn.
All right, let's start with the basics, because for those who maybe don't have one yet, but might be soon, what is a 401k? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so most Americans are going to have a 401k with their employer, which is a retirement savings vehicle. We all want to think about retirement, right? It's all going to be there one day. And so this is an opportunity for them to save in a tax-advantaged way to have that lump sum of money that they can utilize to enjoy retirement where they don't have to work anymore.
And how should people invest? Because a lot of times we see, I feel like that target fund and just go for it. Is that the best way?
If you're hands off, I would recommend a target date fund. You line it up with when you're expected to retire. So for example, I think you're retiring, what, 2030?
My retirement's so far away I can't see it, but go ahead, Joe.
So line it up with your retirement date,
Yeah.
and that's typically what you should choose. Now, I don't recommend that for most people who want to be more hands-on, but if you're just like, I just want to get something set, I'm not worried about it, just do the target date, will make it easy. But what we'd recommend is you work with a professional, or you do some research to see what funds you have within your 401k and align it with what your goals are and what you're trying to achieve, and you may be able to maximize some returns out there by doing that.
Okay, and there's also two options people often hear, a traditional versus a Roth.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah, so I mean, we wrote a book called I Hate Taxes, and so I'm thinking most people watching this are probably in the same boat. And so we talk a lot in this about the power of a Roth when looking at 401k's and IRAs. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone should do a Roth, but it's something that many people should start to consider, because the power of a Roth is you pay your taxes now, so you don't have to pay them in the future.
Right.
So pay it on a smaller amount now, so as it grows, all that's tax-free moving forward. And so what we typically recommend is people to have a balance between the two. And so many people may already have a higher amount in traditional, so maybe they want to look to switch to the Roth at this point.
Okay.
Especially because tax rates are on sale right now.
I was going to say they are low and historically low, so we should probably take advantage of that.
Exactly.
All right, what do you do if you have an old 401k? You have a job, you move. Oftentimes people don't really know how to go about changing that.
Yeah, and that's a big concern we see with many people, because they may have a 401k from an old company that has changed who's holding that 401k. And they may forget the login, or they forget who's holding the money, and they lose track. And so what we recommend is for people to consolidate their 401k. So either moving that 401k to your current 401k, or what I personally recommend is moving that to an IRA, so you have more control, you have more investment options, and you can start planning for your retirement that way.
And when you actually do retire, Joe, what is it that you need to do with your 401k? Is it just there until you need it? What are our options?
Yeah, so we would recommend people, just like I mentioned, roll over that 401k to an IRA so you can get planning for your retirement. So we would obviously recommend, we're a little biased, but get professional advice. Get professional advice from someone like us, or someone who can help you with a comprehensive retirement plan to ensure you're not missing anything. And so they could be the ones to manage your 401k to ensure you're picking the right investments for your goals and what you're trying to achieve. And so that's what we'd recommend. And they can actually start moving their 401k to an IRA starting at age 59 and a half.
Okay.
So this is something that many of the viewers are going to want to pay attention to if they're at that age or older while still working. They can do what's called an in-service withdrawal.
Yeah.
And that's where you move your 401k to an IRA while you're still working, still get the opportunity of the company match, but now you may be able to move to other investment options that may be better than the only 10 to 20 options you have in your 401k. So that could be something that they consider.
I was going to say that seems to have some advantages to it, because oftentimes your employer, right, they only give you a set of investment options.
Yes. So, and nothing wrong with a 401k. They're typically great vehicles. For example, the company match.
Yeah.
And so something we always want to recommend people do is at least contribute up to the company match, because that's free money. That's leaving money on the table if we don't do that. So if the company offers a 5% match, we need to contribute at least 5% to get that advantage. So nothing wrong with 401ks, just understand there may be better vehicles out there that we can take advantage of.
When you meet with folks, Joe, are you often kind of educating them on all these options because they've been unaware of them for so long?
Correct, yeah. We're finding ourselves that, one, is when people come to us in or near retirement, they're often thinking, one, I don't want to make any mistakes, and two, I don't know what to do. And so we're able to really educate them and give them enough information to really make those educated and informed decisions of what to do with their life savings. I mean, most people, when they get to this retirement date, have been saving for 30 or 40 years, and we're seeing a long retirement now. People are living much longer than ever before, we have to make sure we're on top of these things and many of the other areas of retirement planning.
You offer your book, part of your tax-free retirement toolkit. How can folks take advantage of that?
Yes, so if they just text or call us, the number should be right there on the screen, and we'll just send it right to them. I actually just had a friend of mine text me this morning, and she goes, "My coworker is sitting here reading your book." And I asked her, I was like, "Did we send it to her?" And she said, "Yeah, they said you sent it to her, and she's reading it, and she said it's great." So hopefully the other people can take advantage of that offer. There's no cost to it. We just want to make sure that people have the retirement that that they've been dreaming of, really.
Yeah, really, have that. Okay, we want to go to peakretirementplanning.com, all the information there as well. So thank you.
Yep, thanks, Robyn.